30% of people are perfectionists, and here's the brutal truth. It's destroying their productivity. I spent 6 hours one day rewriting a single email. 6 hours. And you know what? The version I sent was basically identical to my first draft. If you've ever spent 3 hours on a 30-minute task because it wasn't perfect enough, or avoided starting projects because you couldn't do them flawlessly, this video will change everything. Here's the thing about perfectionism that nobody talks about. It's not actually about having high standards. It's about being paralyzed by the fear of not meeting impossible ones. I used to think I was just detail-oriented until I realized I was spending more time perfecting things than actually doing them. Research from Dr. Brené Brown and Dr. Gordon Flett shows that perfectionism decreases performance because we get stuck in what psychologists call analysis paralysis. You know the drill. Spending 2 hours crafting the perfect email, rewriting the same paragraph 15 times, or never hitting publish because it's not ready yet. Today I'm breaking down 5 science-backed strategies that changed everything for me and will help you shift from perfectionist paralysis to productive progress. I also created simple one-page templates to make that easy. I'm putting them all in a free digital kit for you. Link is in the description. I'll show you exactly what they look like at the end of the video. Strategy 1. The 80-20 rule. This rule shows that 80% of results come from 20% of efforts. But perfectionists flip this. They spend 80% of their time on the final 20% of polish that barely matters. You write a report, it's 95% done. But you spend 3 more hours tweaking fonts and formatting instead of moving to the next task. This is exactly what happened to me with my YouTube videos. One day, I spent 12 hours editing a 10-minute video, and 8 of those hours were on color correction that literally nobody noticed. Meanwhile, I had 3 other videos sitting unfinished because I was obsessing over the color values. Now I do this. Before starting any task, I write down what 80% completion looks like. For videos, that's good audio, clear message, decent lighting. When I hit that mark, I publish. Period. This is one of the most effective habits I've built. Your mission now is to build your own good enough bar. It's simple. No task gets started until you've defined what 80% completion looks like. Your brain will resist, but that's the resistance you must overcome to be productive. The productivity gain here isn't a small boost. It's transformative. You're finally eliminating the single biggest time waster in perfectionism, which is endless, pointless polishing, and reclaiming hours of your week, hours you can then invest in starting the next important task. Strategy 2. Time boxing with the Pomodoro technique. Dr. Francesco Cirillo's invention of the Pomodoro technique emphasizes a powerful principle. Artificial deadlines force our brains to prioritize completion over perfection. It's called Parkinson's Law. This law states that work expands to fill the time available. You sit down to write for a few minutes and 4 hours later, you're still editing the first paragraph. I used to sit down to quickly edit a thumbnail and emerge 4 hours later having redesigned it 47 times. So I started using 25-minute work blocks with a kitchen timer. Yes, that old school thing. When it goes off, I stop, even mid-sentence. My brain hated this at first, but now I get more done in 2 hours than I used to in 8. This trains your brain to focus on progress, not perfection. Studies show this increases productivity by 25% while reducing perfectionist anxiety. Strategy 3. The minimum viable progress mindset. Cognitive behavioral therapy research shows that perfectionist thoughts create a feedback loop of procrastination and anxiety. My first YouTube video was terrible, but you know what? It got 400 views and 2 comments from people saying it helped them. Meanwhile, I had 5 perfect scripts sitting in my drafts folder that helped exactly 0 people. Breaking this loop requires what psychologists call behavioral activation, which means simply taking imperfect action to break the perfectionist feedback loop of procrastination and anxiety. You have a presentation due, but instead of starting with a rough outline, you spend hours researching the perfect template and never actually begin. If this sounds familiar, the solution is actually pretty simple. Define your MVP, minimum viable progress. For a presentation, that's a bullet point outline. For a video, it's a rough script with the main points covered. Start there. Publish or present the MVP version, then iterate. LinkedIn founder Reid Hoffman said it best. If you're not embarrassed by your first version, you launched too late. Strategy 4. The Good Enough Decision Framework. Decision research from Barry Schwartz shows that perfectionists are maximizers. They need the absolute best option. But satisficers who choose good enough are measurably happier and more productive. You spend 2 hours choosing the perfect stock photo for a social media post, or research 47 different project management tools instead of just picking one and starting. If this is you, here's what you can do. Use the 3-option rule. Research 3 options, pick the best one, and move on. Set a decision deadline. 15 minutes for small choices, 1 hour for medium ones, and 1 day for big ones. Research shows this reduces decision fatigue by 60%. Strategy 5. Progress tracking over perfection tracking. Dr. Teresa Amabile's Harvard research on the progress principle shows that small wins trigger dopamine release and are the single most important factor in boosting daily motivation and performance. Perfectionists miss this because they only celebrate flawless outcomes. I used to end every day feeling like garbage because I'd complete 8 out of 10 tasks, but obsess over the 2 I didn't finish perfectly. I was literally training my brain to focus on failure instead of progress. If you've ever done that, you're not alone. Here is what you can do. Track completion, not perfection. Use a simple daily scorecard. How many tasks did I start? How many did I finish? Celebrate every completion, even if it's not perfect. This rewires your brain to value progress over perfection. Perfectionism isn't about excellence, it's about fear. These 5 strategies aren't just productivity hacks. They're freedom from the paralysis that's been holding you back. I personally make them stick using my 2-minute night routine that helped me increase my productivity tremendously. 1 minute for planning 3 tasks and 1 minute for brain dump. No perfectionist planning paralysis, just progress. Pick one strategy and try it tomorrow. Set yourself up tonight with my 2-minute routine. And if you don't know how, watch this video. It's the anti-perfectionist way to plan your day. So, as promised, here's a quick look at the exact templates I use to make these strategies stick. This is my 80% finish line. Before I even start a video, I define what good enough looks like. When I hit those points, I'm done. It stops me from tweaking forever. When I need to focus, I use this focus sprint sheet. I set my timer for 25 minutes, commit to one task, and just go. It forces completion over perfection. If I'm feeling overwhelmed, I pull out the MVP Launchpad. I ask myself, what's the absolute smallest first step? This gets me moving when I'm paralyzed. And this good enough decider saves me from wasting hours on simple choices. I give myself 5 minutes, pick from 3 options, and never look back. Finally, this is the progress tracker. I only write down what I finished. It rewires my brain to celebrate completion, not just perfect results. I've put all of these into one free download for you. The link is in the description. Grab them and let's start shipping our work.